Rui Hachimura's story is one of quiet courage, cultural transcendence, and the relentless pursuit of purpose. It is a story that doesn't just belong to basketball, it belongs to the human experience. Born on February 8, 1998, in Toyama, Japan, Rui's path to greatness began in a small corner of the world where dreams of the NBA felt distant, almost impossible. Yet even as a young boy, Rui carried within him something rare, the ability to envision himself beyond the limits of his surroundings. His journey would become a bridge between nations, a story of identity, and a symbol of how perseverance can shape destiny. Rui's upbringing was both beautiful and challenging. His mother, Makiko, is Japanese, while his father, Zachary Jabal, is from Benin in West Africa. Growing up biracial in Japan wasn't always easy. Japan, for all its cultural richness, had long been a place of homogeneity, where diversity was still emerging. Rui stood out, not just because of his height or athleticism, but because of who he was, his appearance, his background, his difference. There were moments when he faced misunderstanding or quiet stares, moments when fitting in seemed impossible. But instead of shrinking from it, Rui found strength in that difference. He learned early on that being unique could be powerful, that his dual heritage could be a source of pride rather than conflict. As a child, Rui's first love wasn't basketball, it was baseball. He played as a pitcher and catcher, following Japan's national pastime with enthusiasm. But basketball eventually found him. Around the age of 13, he was introduced to the sport more seriously, and everything changed. His natural athleticism, long frame, and sharp instincts quickly made him stand out. What began as a curious experiment became a calling. Rui poured himself into the game with quiet determination, spending hours in the gym, refining his skills, studying the fundamentals. It wasn't long before his raw talent evolved into something extraordinary. At Meisei High School in Sendai, Rui's rise was nothing short of meteoric. He led his team to 3 straight All-Japan High School championships, dominating with a blend of strength, grace, and discipline that felt years ahead of his age. Coaches and scouts quickly realized he was a generational talent. But even then, Rui's success was never about ego. He carried himself with humility and calm, never one to boast, never one to seek attention. Every time he stepped on the court, he did it with quiet fire, driven not by external validation, but by an internal desire to be the best version of himself. It wasn't long before his success in Japan caught the attention of international scouts, and the next chapter of his journey began. When Gonzaga University offered him a scholarship, it marked a monumental step, not just for Rui, but for Japanese basketball as a whole. For the first time, a Japanese-born player with major potential was heading to one of the top college basketball programs in the United States. Yet the transition wasn't easy. When Rui arrived in Spokane, Washington, in 2016, he barely spoke English. Practices were overwhelming, team meetings confusing, and the pace of life in America felt unfamiliar. There were moments when homesickness weighed heavy, when he wondered if he truly belonged. But Rui Hachimura doesn't give up. He learns, adapts, and grows. Slowly, he began to find his rhythm. He worked tirelessly, improving both on the court and in the classroom. He built bonds with teammates who respected his drive and kindness. And as his English improved, so did his confidence. By his sophomore year, Rui began to flourish, showing flashes of brilliance, an efficient scorer, a versatile defender, and a player who thrived under pressure. By his junior season, he was no longer just a project, he was a star. He averaged 19.7 points per game, was named the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, and led Gonzaga deep into the NCAA tournament. His name became synonymous with excellence and humility, and for the first time, the basketball world turned its full attention to Japan. When Rui declared for the 2019 NBA draft, he carried not only his personal dreams, but also the hopes of an entire nation. On draft night, when the Washington Wizards selected him with the 9th overall pick, history was made. He became the first Japanese-born player ever drafted in the first round, a moment that transcended sports. Cameras flashed, reporters cheered, and across Japan, millions watched with pride. For them, Rui wasn't just a basketball player. He was a symbol of what was possible. His success meant that the boundaries of imagination had expanded for every young athlete who had ever been told their dream was too big. Rui's rookie season with the Wizards showed flashes of brilliance. He adjusted quickly to the NBA's speed and physicality, averaging double figures in scoring and earning a spot on the NBA All-Rookie second team. But what stood out even more than his numbers was his demeanor. He played with quiet intensity, never showy, always focused. He studied the game constantly, footwork, angles, decision-making, always seeking to elevate his craft. Even when facing superstars, Rui remained poised. That self-composure became his signature, the ability to meet every challenge with calm and confidence. Off the court, Rui began to emerge as a global ambassador. In Japan, he was a national hero, gracing magazine covers, leading endorsements, and inspiring a new generation of athletes. Yet he never allowed fame to change him. He remained humble, grateful, and deeply connected to his roots. He often spoke about his love for Japan, his family's influence, and how proud he was to represent both sides of his heritage. "I want to show that it doesn't matter where you come from," he once said. "If you work hard and believe, you can make it." The trade to the Los Angeles Lakers in 2023 was another defining moment in Rui's career. The move put him under the brightest lights in basketball, playing alongside icons like LeBron James and Anthony Davis. For some, that stage might have been intimidating, but not for Rui. Instead, he rose to the moment. During the 2023 playoffs, he delivered some of the most clutch performances of his career, helping the Lakers advance through the Western Conference. His mid-range jumper became a weapon, his defense a stabilizing force, his composure a symbol of maturity beyond his years. Fans and analysts alike took notice. Rui Hachimura wasn't just a role player. He was a difference maker. But beneath the stats and highlights, what defines Rui Hachimura is something deeper. It's the grace with which he carries himself. It's the way he honors his family, respects his culture, and gives back to his community. It's the humility that never fades, even as the world watches him shine. Rui understands the weight of representation. He knows that every step he takes opens doors for others. And yet, he never lets that weight crush him. He transforms it into strength. Beyond basketball, Rui has become a symbol of progress in Japan's cultural landscape. His success has challenged stereotypes and opened conversations about diversity, identity, and belonging. He's shown young people, biracial or otherwise, that there's beauty in difference, power in authenticity, and dignity in being yourself. That, perhaps, is his greatest legacy of all. As his NBA career continues to evolve, Rui's ceiling remains high. He's still young, still growing, still unlocking new levels of potential. Whether it's perfecting his shot, improving his defense, or deepening his leadership, Rui approaches every season with patience and purpose. He's never been one to rush his journey. He knows greatness takes time. And that's exactly why he's destined for lasting impact. Rui Hachimura's story is still being written. It's the story of a young man who came from a small city in Japan to conquer the global stage. It's about more than basketball. It's about identity, courage, and the pursuit of dreams without borders. It's about how one player can redefine a nation's relationship with a sport, how one voice can inspire millions in silence. And in every moment, on the court, under the lights, or walking quietly through life, Rui reminds us of something simple but powerful. Greatness doesn't have to shout. Sometimes, it just needs to believe. Thank you for joining us in celebrating the remarkable journey of Rui Hachimura, a player whose story is still unfolding and whose legacy will echo across generations. If his story inspired you, if his quiet determination reminded you that perseverance is power, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so more people can feel the impact of his incredible journey.